happy because I got a toy this morning to play with. And today's talk and today's inspirational message is all about loving the earth and loving the planet, loving Mother Earth, loving everything all around us. And why are we doing that? Because as the song just said, it's all the same stuff. So let's just take this opportunity to put our hands together and welcome Reverend Joyanne.
Well, good, beautiful morning. I love this day. The sun is shining, and I noticed that today there's Boogie the Bridge, right?
Yes.
And I think a lot of our members are boogieing.
Yes.
Boogieing down the bridge. What time did it start? Was it 9? Oh, I noticed that when I was coming in. A lot of the parking spots are taken, so that's interesting. All right, so today is all about, thank you for that beautiful introduction, is all about us being conscious. And I learned a new definition this week about what that means. And this is from Fenwick Holmes. And he was the brother from another mother. No, he was the brother of the same mother, for Dr. Ernest Holmes. And in his book, Faith That Heals, the definition he gave of being conscious, he called it knowing of. When you are being conscious, you are knowing of. And sometimes, as Eckhart Tolle said in his book, many of you have read his book, The Power of Now. Who's read that book? All of you. Oh my goodness. One of you hasn't, but if you haven't, you might want to. I love his definition. I love his definition of things because he said, like let's say you're driving down the road and someone cuts you off, or they honk at you, or they give you a funny sign with their hand. The Hawaiian signal, right? They go like that. Then he said that's simply this, it's unconscious behavior. If someone harms another, say someone is being abused, it is simply unconscious behavior. So we are all calling ourselves into a greater awareness of being conscious creators and to be aware of our planet. So important. This is one of my passions. This week I was able to see a nature program all about something you may not have ever heard of. How many of you have heard of permafrost? Oh, you have. I'm so glad. Maybe I was the only one that didn't know that. And that's when the ground, the earth, or it's actually the soil and all the particles in it freeze. And what's happening across our planet, especially in Alaska, they showed this. The scientists are concerned about our planet because it's melting. And when the permafrost melts, it puts into our atmosphere lots of carbon and other things that actually warm up the earth. And so it showed these vast cliffs that are all permafrost, and they're all melted. It's melting. The sky is falling. And so our task then is to be conscious and to be aware and to be a blessing. So when it is our turn to shuffle off, that's a Dr. Holmes word, we shuffle off the planet and the other next generation takes over, I want to leave behind, I don't know about you, but I want to leave behind a positive print, a positive, loving consciousness that adds to the collective blessing. And so that's why celebrating is this day of Earth Day, which actually was on Tuesday. But we're celebrating it today because last week was Easter. How many of you missed our Easter egg hunt for adults? Oh, we just had the best time. And the adults here that live here in the senior center wondered where the hula hoops came from. Someone got a hula hoop too and they left him, so they played with them. So our blessing went out to this place as well. It was great. So we today, and this whole week, we're joining hundreds of groups of people all over our Earth planet, all over the world this week, in meaningful celebration of our consciousness in action. And that focuses on our ability to heal, to nurture, and to transform our planet and the environment in an undertaking right now as I watched this program from nature that is so important, that we need to be conscious of what the effect that we have not only for ourselves, but for our greater community, for our planet, because we are all connected. That not only is every person our brother and our sister from another mister, but all of the animals, the four-leggeds, the two-leggeds, they are our brothers also and our sisters. And recently, I didn't know, this was so amazing, because I'm from Oregon. They said that here in BC, there is now a species that was on the endangered list and now is not. Does anyone know what that was? It was an Oregon frog. I said, what are you doing over here? A transplant, like someone else I know. An Oregon frog, and that's the name of it. And it was a while back. It was on the endangered list here in BC, and now it's not. They've actually got tadpoles, they brought them in, and they had recreation, and they made more baby frogs. Isn't that great? Part of nature. All right. So, Earth Day, I wanted to share a little bit about where this came from. Whose idea was this? And believe it or not, it was over 30 years ago. The day was founded in 1970 in the U.S. by Senator Gaylord Nelson, but only after several years of him doing everything he could. He was working so hard to get awareness that all of us are making an imprint on the planet, and it wasn't looking so good. I personally believe in positivity, and I personally believe that we cannot harm our planet in such a way that it's never, returnable to its graciousness. And this is part of the teaching of Science of Mind, that God is good all the time and that God is everywhere present, the Creator. However, we have to be conscious, we have to be careful of what we're doing. And so this idea came in 1970, and Senator Nelson flew to Washington and presented an idea to the Attorney General, who was then Robert Kennedy. You've all heard of Robert Kennedy. And then the President, John F. Kennedy. And he presented this to John F. Kennedy only 2 months before he shuffled off to his next experience. And it was welcomed, it was received, he was heard, and therefore it was created as Earth Day on April 22nd, 1970. I think that's a lovely. So it took several years speaking to the country, to our fellow countrymen in the United States, to create a huge grassroots protest over how we were treating the planet. So that's how it came about. And with neither the time nor resources to organize 20 million people, Senator Nelson was very happy to find that it actually ended up, I love when these things happen, when they organized, it organized itself. It literally happened. So it was an idea whose time has come. So after 40 years, almost 40 years, Earth Day has organized into a huge, vast experience, a process, if you will, of us honoring, blessing, and recognizing the sacredness of all life. And that's why today in these little packages, I have a gift, or we call it in the First Nations wording, a giveaway. And you may have noticed that I like to do a lot of giveaways. It's part of what I do, and it's part of my language of love. That's how, when I love someone, you get lots of presents. That's how I am. And I thought it was a Canadian thing, because my mom did that as well, but I think it's a universal thing. So in these boxes is a beautiful bulb, and they come in 3 different colors, and each of you will get at least one. I think there's going to be enough for you to take one with you today and to gift it to somebody, and we'll do that in just a little bit. Now some of these have 2 bulbs, and if you open yours and it has 2 bulbs, you will receive an earth bag. We have beautiful recyclable earth bags up here. So that's another form of giveaway. So we'll do that in just a little bit. So Earth Day was organized around the theme of 1 billion acts of green. And the whole idea was for us, as we become conscious, to find ways in which we can honor, protect, bless, love, and acknowledge the sacredness of this life. And so here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Kamloops, praising the beauty of God's creation. I love this picture. You may have noticed someone sent me an email saying they loved all the new pictures. It gives you a feeling when you're in nature. I don't know about you, but when I go out in nature and I sit outside, something happens. I connect with the trees. I connect with the flowers. Not so much the wasps. I'm working on that one. I'm going to make peace with the wasps. Still working on that one. So praising the beauty of God's creation is an essential part of what we do here at the center, an ongoing faith journey for all of us. And we understand the importance of having the stewardship of the planet as well. And so I'm going to invite you to do something that I may have shared this before, but it's beautiful practice, especially on Sunday. But then what happens is I think everyone's sleeping. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Because when you close your eyes, you actually tune into a greater awareness. That's why meditation is such a beautiful experience. So I'm going to invite you just to allow your eyes to close, if you so choose, and allow your heart, invite your heart to open as I share these beautiful words. And then I'm going to have someone come up and share with you the beautiful words of Chief Seattle. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. So today, as we stand at a very important moment in Earth's history, as the world becomes increasingly interdependent, the future at once holds great possibility and great promise. To move forward, we must recognize that in the midst of a magnificent diversity of cultures and life forms here on the planet, we are indeed one family, one Earth community, with a common destiny. We must join together to bring forth a sustainable global society founded on the respect for nature, universal human rights, economic justice, and a culture of peace. And so towards this end, it is imperative that we here at the Center for Spiritual Living Kamloops, that we as BC, that we as Canada, that we as part of a greater family of people on this planet, that we, the peoples of Earth, declare our responsibility to one another and to the greater community of life and to the future generations, and that we acknowledge our spiritual magnificence. And so what is universal responsibility? It is to realize these aspirations. We must decide to live with a sense of that universal responsibility, identifying ourselves with the whole earth. So I want you to imagine right now, see in your mind's eye, our planet, our beautiful planet Earth, spinning in her perfect orbit, like a blue-green gem in the sky, a beautiful pearl suspended in a sea of blue. And see the Earth spinning in her perfect orbit. And we, every one of us, makes a difference. We are part of a global community. We are citizens, yes, of different nations, but of one world in which we, the local and global community, are linked. And everyone on this planet, every one of us shares the responsibility. Another word for that is respondability. How do I respond? To the present and future well-being of the human family and all of our brothers and sisters, our four-leggeds, our two-leggeds, our fish, our trees. All are our brothers and all are our sisters. The spirit of human solidarity and kinship with all of life is strengthened when we live with the reverence of this beautiful mystery that I call life. And I am in gratitude for this gift that the Creator has given to everyone. Everyone. I ask that we aspire to a shared vision of basic values that provides for an emerging world community. And therefore, together, we affirm the beauty and the sacredness and our divine intention, our responsibility, our respondability to life, and the common standard by being the best and the highest that we can be. To be guided, to be blessed, and that we recognize the individuals, the organizations, the businesses, the governments, and the transnational institutions, and we bless all of it. We are part of the human family. We are. And we have chosen this planet and this time, which I feel is the best time to be on this planet. And I am in such gratitude. And so I am envisioning this beautiful, beautiful planet in my mind's eye, spinning in her perfect orbit. And I am sending my love and my commitment to the highest possibility. To love, to honor, and to bless this beautiful, sacred planet Earth that truly is our home. And with that in mind, I'd like you to open your eyes. With that in mind, I wanted to share with you just a few things before I call up one of our First Nations representative here today, and that's our wonderful Sheila Langlois. Did I say that right? I said it right. And many, many years ago, probably about 20 years ago, I was called to Seattle. And I became intrigued with the city. That's where I was trained to be a minister. And I thought, what is that? Where did this name come from, Seattle? So as I studied it, I found out that this city, this huge city, was named after a First Nations chief. His name is Chief Seattle. And I found out, as I studied more and more about him, I studied his spirituality, and I wrote a paper, like a term paper, on the spirituality of Chief Seattle and his tribe. I got an A+. I love getting an A+. That was fun. Okay. And in it, I discovered so many things, one of which is that the reason the settlers of Seattle even survived is because Chief Seattle gave them food. There was a very cold winter. Imagine the coldest winter they ever had. And all of us white people were kind of dropping like flies. You know, we were not doing so well in the cold. Chief Seattle and his tribe actually had extra food, and so they gave their food, they shared their food, so that all of the settlers there would survive. And they were so grateful for his graciousness, for his sharing, for his understanding that we are all one, that they named the town after him. His original name was spelled S-E-A-L-T-H, and the settlers could not pronounce it. So they kind of came up with Seattle. It was like Seattle. They couldn't pronounce it, so they called it Seattle, named the whole city after him. So in honor of him and this incredible realization that he taught everyone he came into contact with to respect nature, to love nature, he actually contacted Washington and wrote this beautiful speech that will be shared with you today. So I'm going to invite up our very own Sheila Langlois, and she's dressed in her First Nations favorite outfit. So come on up, sweetie. I call her my sister from another mister.
My daddy's nicer than her daddy.
My mama's bigger than your mama.
Good morning, everybody. And yes, Reverend Joanne was right. This is my favorite dress that I wear to my ancestors' spiritual ceremonies that I go to every summer. And I chose to wear it today in honor of my ancestors, and also to honor the man whose words I'm about to speak. And these words were originally spoken to to the government when they were trying to purchase lands from the First Nations, but they are so in sync to what Reverend Joanne said just a moment ago about respecting Mother Earth and taking care of her. So here we go. And this is a preamble. It was written as a preamble that Chief Seattle spoke. The President in Washington sends words that he wishes to buy our land. But how can you buy or sell the sky, the land? The idea is strange to us. If we do not own the freshness of the air or spark of the water, then how can you buy them? Every part of this earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every meadow, every humming insect. All are holy in the memory and experience of my people. We know the sap that courses through the trees as we know the blood that courses through our veins. We are a part of the earth, and it is a part of us. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. The deer, the bear, the great eagle, these are our brothers. The rocky crests, the juices in the meadows, the body heat of the pony, and the man all belong to the same family. The shining water that moves from the streams and rivers is not just water, but the blood of our ancestors. If we sell you our land, you must remember that it is sacred. Each ghostly reflection in the lakes tells of memories in the life of my people. The water's murmur is the voice of my father's father. The rivers are our brothers. They quench our thirst. They carry our canoes and feed our children. So you must give to the rivers the kindness that you would give to any brother. If we sell you our land, remember that the air is precious to us, that the air shares its spirit with all the life it supports. The wind that gave our grandfather his first breath also receives his last breath. The wind also gives our children the spirit of life. So if we sell our land, you must keep it apart and sacred as a place where men can go and taste the wind that is sweetened by the meadow flowers. Will you teach your children what we have taught our children, that the earth is our mother? What befalls the earth befalls all the sons of the earth. This we know, the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to earth. All things are connected like the blood that unites us all. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand of it. Whatever he does to earth, he does to himself. One thing we know, our God is also your God. The earth is precious to God, and to harm the earth is to heap contempt on its creator. Your destiny is a mystery to us. What will happen when the buffalo are all slaughtered, the wild horses tamed? What will happen when the secret corners of the forest are heavy with the scent of man and the view of ripe hills is blotted by talking wires? Where will the thicket be? Gone. Where will the eagles be? Gone. And what is it to say goodbye to the swift pony and the hunt? The end of living and the beginning of survival. When the last red man has vanished and his memory is but the shadow of a cloud moving across the prairie, will these shores and forests still be there? Will there be any of the spirit of my people left? We love this earth as a newborn loves its mother's heartbeat. So if we sell you our land, love it as we have loved it. Care for it as we have cared for it. Hold in your memory the land as it is when you receive it. Preserve the land for all children and love it as God loves us all. As we are part of the land, you too are a part of the land. As the earth is precious to us, so is it precious to you? And this last line is not part of Chief Seattle, but it is so in sync with what Chief Seattle said, is one thing we know, there is only one God. No man, be he red man or white man, can be apart. We are brothers, after all.
In a good way. Thank you. You did that beautifully. Okay, so the next beautiful part is that I have prepared a handout, and I have some helpers here who volunteered. This particular handout is called Earth Affirmations, and so who are my helpers? Would you please come forward? And they're right there. Would you? They're beautiful. It looks like this. This was made. I wanted to thank our resident graphic designer, and that is Linda Wall. So will you please stand so we can thank you? She does beautiful work, and she created this. I sent her the wording, and she made the rest. So all of you, if you would please receive this. If you want to take an extra one, you're welcome to. And this is called Earth Day Affirmations. I'm going to share just a couple of them. I'm not going to read them all, just a few of them. Ways that we can hold all of life as sacred. These are small and large ways in which we can participate and have respondability for our planet. And so I'll just share the very first one. Couple that says, I am willing to be a more conscious citizen on this planet. I consider the long-term impact and the true cost of all my purchases. Number 2, I do my best to choose life-giving foods, ones that are seasonal, locally grown, and sustainably raised. I use the foods I buy, and I compost the waste. And then the last one I'll read is just number 3. I take time to inspire earth love in young people. And that is what's happening today in our youth church. We have Ken who is teaching. So I invite you to put this on your refrigerator or some other place that you visit often. I had to wait for that one. And put this where you'll see it, and there's 17 ways, simple and otherwise, and great and small and all different sizes, for you to be a blessing to the planet and to offer your honor, your respect, and your kindness to our beautiful, beautiful place, Earth, planet Earth. And so this very last part is something you may or may not have ever done before. This is called the blessing of the 7 directions. And I'm going to ask you to participate in that. So as I read this invitation, it says, today we celebrate Earth, but more importantly, every day is Earth Day. Building this intention in our inner lives and our hearts, our families, our communities, our nations, and our planet. And so I want you to take these last few moments before we go into the blessing to really consider your commitment, your recommitment to honoring, respecting, and loving our planet. To be willing to do that. Are you willing to be a conscious participant on this planet? I love what Ellen DeGeneres says. She says, be kind to one another. Every day on her show, be kind to one another. Be kind to our planet. Be kind to our trees. Consider everything. When you chop a tree down, you're taking the life of a bird's nest, perhaps. So just to be conscious and aware, to bless the food you eat. There's so many ways that we can be respectful. And so I'm going to ask you to join me as we do this Earth celebration, blessing of the sacred directions. First, I wanted to say, though, up here you will notice something very interesting. There's jugs of water. And this week I had the privilege, I was invited to go to the Kamloops water, what is it called? Water treatment plant. And actually, did you know, and I did not know this, you all know everything, I'm just the new one here. Do you know that we drink the river? I did not know. I'm like, what? I'm drinking the river? Well, it was amazing. I was like, wow. and that both the rivers have different water. One has kind of cloudy water, so I brought water, and we're all going to bless the water. The idea is to gather the waters out of the river. We're all going to bless it, and then we're going to return it back to the river as a living blessing. None of us can live without water, right? We can live without food, some of us not so much, not so long, but we cannot live without water. It's so important, and I just loved my tour that I got of all that goes into the huge place. I just was so overwhelmed with the amazing state-of-the-art technology on cleaning it, on preparing it and sending it out. And it's millions and millions and trillions and bazillions and godzillions of gallons. I was just amazed at how much we use, and so we want to be honoring of that as well. So I was going to ask Dan if he could come up, and we're going to mix the two waters. We're going to bless it all together, and then we're going to go into our sacred ceremony all together. So come up. Would someone like to hold the sun? Let's bring this up here. Okay, so believe it or not, this water is from the South Thompson River. This water is from the South Thompson. Do you see how clear it is? Yeah. And the North Thompson is not quite as clear. It's a little bit different. It's melted snow. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to bless this. We're going to combine them in this jar, and then we're going to send the sacred water receives our blessing. It literally changes the DNA of the water. And we're going to send, so I want you to rub your hands together. And we're going to mix these two and send this off into the river. So what would you like, I want to hear from you, what would you like to send as a blessing into this water? How about we'll start with peace. We'll send peace, love, and joy, forgiveness. Okay, so let's take a moment and send all of our love, peace, love, and joy, and forgiveness. Anything else?
Healing.
Prosperity. Gratitude. Healing. A new consciousness of care for planet Earth.
Growth so it doesn't hurt Mother Earth.
Okay, anything else? Okay, so close your eyes and imagine that you are a fax machine and you are sending these blessings directly into this water, into both of these containers of water, filled to the brim with all of our love, all of our blessings, all of our good wishes, and the knowingness and the sacredness and the nourishment of the waters. I say thank you, Creator, for this beautiful gift of water. And so it is. Like to take this holy water and release it into the river? Anyone feel called to do that? Okay, why don't you come forward? Please receive this as you send it forward into our river as our loving, living blessing. And it'll flow forward all the way down to the ocean, blessing every single creature, every tree, every rock, every being. And so it is. Blessing of the 7 directions. So I'm going to ask you all to stand if you wish to join in, if you wish to participate. We're going to have beautiful music played right now, the flute music. And we're going to face the first direction, which is, we're going to face the east. And that you're all in the perfect place. I will turn my back and read this. And I want you to take your hands, and what you're doing is you're sending your blessings to all 7 directions. Some of you are wondering where the 7 are. You thought there were only 4. You'll find out. All right, so for the first direction, which is to the east, it is the place of fertility, the seeds of tomorrow, the place of new beginnings, the place of the morning sun. This day I declare that my life is new. This is my beginning. Everything that has happened before this day is done. And I begin afresh with new ideas and new courage. I welcome this day as my opportunity to shine like the sun. So we send our blessings to the east. From our heart to our hands, we bless the east. And now I want you all to turn in this direction. We're going to bless the south. I face the south, which is the adult time of life, the warrior that protects, the wise person who makes good decisions. The south helps me know that I am always safe and protected and guided from a place of power, divine love. Here in this moment, I place all my ideas, my plans, my dreams to be fertilized by my faith and my strength, to be nurtured by the Great Spirit, which has given me all I ask, both with my lips and with my heart. I now offer to the south my ideas and my dreams. Please turn to face the back of the room. That is the west. I face the west, the place of the setting sun, the place of completion and endings. Here I release all worries and all burdens from yesterday. Here I also release all joys and successes from yesterday, for even they cannot hold me back from my new life, which has already begun. Just as surely as the setting sun sets ablaze the sky, I set ablaze all that would restrict or inhibit me from living my greatness. I am cleansed and purified in the fire of the old passing away, so that the new can be fully free to manifest. I send my blessings to the west. Sending your blessings to the north. As I turn to the north, the place of the great wisdom, the great mystery, I stand in awe of my life and all that it has been to date. I step forth in this day with faith, and I know that the great mystery offers me with all the guidance, with all the direction, with all the answers and knowledge that I seek. I step forward with courage and confidence, faith and peace. I know that I am a part of the entire universe upon universe upon universe, and it is a part of me. I bless the north. And now, please face the front with your head bowed and your arms down with open palms like this. I salute the ground upon which I stand. It holds me and sustains me during my walk upon my earth, this beautiful planet. My pathway upon it is smooth and straight. That is the Mother Earth, the point of origin from which all things come up from the roots from the nutrients, from the soil. I give thanks for and honor this strong foundation of love and life upon which I stand. I bless and salute the ground upon which I stand. Now, if you will take your hands and raise your arms up to the sky, way up to the sky, like this, and send your blessings up into the heavens. I salute the sky which covers me. It is the place of the sun, which makes the crops grow and which makes me feel so vibrant. It is the place where I always know that as great as I may have been, or may yet become in this world, there is yet an aspect of me that is yet always unfolding, always greater yet to be, always higher than I have ever reached before. So I bless the heavens. I bless the sky. And now place your hands on your heart, the last one that we will bless today. This is the place where it all comes home. Here inside of me, I sense and feel and know that all the directions, they all meet here in my heart. This is the place where it all comes together, and I understand what one truly means. I am one with the past. I am one with the present. I am one with the future. I am one with the known. And I am one with the great mystery, the great unknown. I am one with all that is above, with all that is below, with the north, the south, the east, the west. And it all comes to rest here at the center of me, the point of my being. I celebrate my oneness with all, and I give thanks. And we say together, and so it is. Please have a seat. I'm going to have my helpers come up now. As I do a little bit of drumming, they're going to gift you the giveaway for today. And they are right here. And we'll move that table over. Do you have any other helpers? Would you like to come up? Flower. And I want you to look in there, because if you have two, you will receive one of these bags. Anyone have two bulbs? Raise your hand if you have two. Come up to me. Oh, I just found out that Linda designed these as well. And she received the first one. Oh, okay, sorry. Anyone have more than one? Oh, you have two? There we go. Some of them have two. Open your box. Maybe the children. Okay, but will you bring the children in? We have to do the other first. the tagger, the shooting star, and the creepy beauty. And we're going to bring the children in. Children, will you come in, please? Did any of you have two bulbs? You did? Perfect. I have two. You did. Recyclable earth bag as a gift. Your sign by the wall. Anyone else have two? Okay. Children, come on up. We're going to complete our service now, but I just wanted you to, I wanted to hear what you did today.
We wrote a poem, and we learned about Greek mythology. So, to fill you guys in on that first, we were talking about how, why Mother Earth is called Mother Earth. Does anybody know that? No? Well, the Earth was originally called Pangea, after Gea, the goddess who supposedly created Earth altogether. And she was said to be the mother of everybody, and the Titans and all the Greek gods were born from her, and that was said how the Earth began. So that was why everybody started calling Earth Mother Earth. That's an interesting fact. There you go. Earth Day is fun. We run in the sun. Pangea started as one mass of land. We must care for the earth hand in hand. Even though the land isn't connected, we are all one. With all humanity, we leave out none. Save our water, we must keep it clean. We must be nice and not very mean.
All right, so why don't you have a seat? We're just going to do a little bit of drumming. Celebrate. Anyone want to do our native dance? This is just part of our celebration of Earth Day. And Earth drums. Over here. The drum is the communication tool. So close your eyes and just feel the Earth Mother, celebrating the earth, awakening the flowers, the trees are blooming. All of life is sacred. We celebrate the earth. We love the earth. We bless the earth. We bless the waters. The four-leggeds, the two-leggeds, the fish of the sea, the sky and the tree. Thank you, Creator. And so it is. All right. Next year I'd like to do our service outside. Wouldn't that be great in the park? And we'll invite all of Kamloops. I like how you say yes. All right, it's time for the rest of our service.